Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video we are going to do something unusual which I normally don't do on my channel, and it features some open Ultra League battles. And the reason I'm doing this because I was able to find a really good Pokemon in the form of TAPU FINI, and it's not a new Pokemon. I think a lot of content creators have already made a video on it, but I finally dropped some rare candies into it and was able to make a TAPU FINI, and oh my god, it's really amazing. I was able to go like 17-5 in these battles, and not 17-5 but 15-5 overall, and I was able to climb like 150 points. I'm back to 2400s, and very excited to showcase Tapu Fini, and it's a highly strong recommendation from my side. It's a very safe investment to drop in your excels. And if you happen to use Tapu Fini, or if you are using Tapu Fini in the Open Ultra League, do let me know in the comments down below on how you feel like, or what team combination are you running it with. The team I'm using is Tapu Fini, Galarian, Stunfisk, and Talonflame. And I feel like Galarian Stunfisk really complements well with Tapu Fini. Registeel might do the trick as well, but I don't really have an Excel Registeel as of now. So this is all that I could get from the resources that I have. And yeah, before we start with the battles, if you're new to the channel or you like our content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We are getting it towards the 1000 subscribers, so let's make it happen. And if you want to join the Battles Discord server to interact with the community and me, don't forget to check out the link in the description down below. So without further delays, let's start with the battles and see how the battle goes. So let's start with our first battle of the day, and we pick up a positive lead in the form of the Stunflame, and expecting them to swap out immediately, and they do into Cresselia. So it will be good to know that whether they are running Grass Knot or whether they are running Grass Knot or not. Because yeah, as you can see that it's a future side, so it definitely turns out to be a positive matchup for us. And normally what I have observed is when anyone is running Cresselia as a safe swap, they more or less run future side. They may or may not have Grass Knot, but future side is something that they run, and alongside if they are running future side, I guess the probability is that they'll run Moonblast on them, because otherwise you sort of become weak to Scrafty. So anyhow, it becomes a positive matchup for me, and I will survive this I will survive this charge move. And now when you are the same turn fast move, there is no really advantage of timing, because you basically will not be able to do that. But what you can time is throwing your charge move potentially on the CMP, so that the opponent does not get an extra fast move. And if you have been playing GBL for the I guess for the couple of days or 3 days, you must have noticed that the fast moves are the fast move sneak have become really consistent, and it has been sort of fixed from Niantic side. I mean, whether it's whether you can call it a fast move denial fix or not, but from my perspective, it's everyone is on the even field now, and which makes like the game consistent for everyone. So even if like people are not able to deny as much, like everyone is able to sneak. So definitely people would need to adjust how they play. There are certain changes in the gameplay which you need to do, but apart from it, since the battlefield is leveled out for everyone, I feel like this is probably one of the best things that could have happened for PvP. But yeah, as you can see, my opponent just died died with 2 shields. So yeah, good catch from my opponent. Moving on to the next match, picking up yet another Talonflame Lead, and the opponent swaps out to Galarian Stunfisk in this case. So I would prefer to stay in this matchup. The reason for that is I do have Galarian Stunfisk for the opposing Talonflame, and water guns really will start to add up onto this G-Fisk. So coming back to the topic on fast mode denial, I think my view on this is that as long as the game is consistent for everyone, irrespective of the regions they are, I think this is probably the best thing that Niantic could do, at least at this point of time. Maybe they fix everything later down the line, but it's a step it's a step in the positive direction, at least my opinion. And one thing that I really do not I have a hesitation on, or I didn't really like, was that you're not able to transfer the fast move damage in case your opponent swaps in or you want to swap out at a charge move. So this is something that I think is not there, which is not good. But apart from it, I think overall this fix was really handy for Niantic, and really good for the players. So yeah, coming back to the commentary, I did not shield that move because the without the Brave Bird damage, the Hydro Cannon does not KO, does not one shot. It does not one shot from the Shadow Swampert either, but Shadow Swampert brings it really low. Potentially, it can farm down as well. So that's really one thing you need to be aware about when you're playing this matchup, Talonflame versus Swampert in the Ultra League. So yeah, the first flame charge does not kill, and as you can see, herein I am trying to time my move. I did not throw the second one shot because I did not want to take the damage from that Incinerate. And now I make the swap, as you can see, my Galarian Stunfisk has gone down, so I was not able to transfer the damage. Otherwise, with the previous gameplays, I would have been able to. But regardless, we are able to pull that one off, and yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up a negative lead in the form of this Galvantula and swapping into Talonflame, and the opponent comes in with Shadow Swampert, which is good for me because as long as they don't have another water type in the back, I think my Galarian Stunfisk is safe. So as you can see, the Hydro Cannon did not KO, and now my opponent really would need to shield their Shadow Swampert because the Brave Bird would have KO'd. So I come in with the TAPU FINI here, and TAPU FINI can tank an Earthquake, but barely. I think, yeah, this one, since this one did not take all the Mudshot damage, I think that's the reason it survived by quite a lot of health. But otherwise, once it takes that add-on Mudshot damage, I think it really cannot. So now I let my Tapu Fini go down, and it's all up to Galarian Stunfisk at this point of time. I am giving Galarian Stunfisk 2 shields, and they bring in Galvantula as expected. They will look to debuff my attack because at this point I cannot swap out to reset that debuff. But still, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to maximize my energy generation here by counting the fast moves. And here I knew that I would lose the CMP, so I did not throw the charge move because I wanted to go for extra mud shots, and this will allow me to get additional mud shots in, maybe like a couple of mud shots or 3 mud shots extra to be precise. And they let go of their Galvantula, which is very good for me. Let's see what do they have in the back. So they come in with Swampert, and I have complete intention of farming this thing down, and I need to invest 1 shield though. But I think with this much energy, we should be in a good spot, and comes out Talonflame. So I don't think that any Pokemon could have been better than Talonflame for me in this situation. But as you can see, since we are double debuffed, we need to land 3 rock. We need to go for 3 rock slides here, and we get the shield here. And I was really worried that this will not KO. But since I'm timing my fast move correctly, this is probably the best that I could have done. And they are able to, they threw the flame charge, which is quite good for me because I was able to sneak in an extra mud shot, and I am able to mud shot down this Talonflame, which is quite good. And we have a rock slide ready for the opposing Swampert. So I think this was probably one of the closest games that I played with this team, and I'm really proud of the way I played. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up a positive lead in the form of the Altaria, and I think the basic advantage of using Tapu Fini is that you manage to catch on a lot of leads, like Talonflame, Scrafty, and stuff like Giratina as well. You are able to counter them a lot. Swampert, Walrein. So these are one of the very common leads that you can tackle, and the only thing you really need to worry about the poison types and the grass types. And the primary poison type here in the Open Ultra League is Muk and Nidoqueen. Whereas for the grass types, I think you more or less see Trevenant and Venusaur, basically, which was Tapu Fini is not as common as Trevenant. So this makes like, at least in my from my opinion, this makes Tapu Fini a really good lead in the Open Ultra League, and that's the reason I ended up investing in it. So yeah, I am in a very decent spot. I come in with the Galarian Stunfisk in the hope that I will be able to farm it down, but the opponent swaps out to their Nidoqueen. So we go for straight Earthquake. I normally don't like to bait especially when the opponents are to shield up. So, but we end up getting baited with the Poison Fang. So I will swap out immediately and throw this Surf. And since Surf is super effective onto the Nidoqueen, they would so as you can see the shield. I was worried that I'll not be able to get to the Surf, but I'm barely able to get to it, which will I think this basically seals the game for me, and I will be able to win this one. I was really confident at this point of time. Since Earth Part does not KO, I really don't need to shield the first move, and it's just a Poison Fang, and I think at this stage the game is basically wrapped up for my opponent. I will safely shield this one because there is no way Nidoqueen get to another charge move. Ends up being an Earth Power, and I think my opponent knew at this stage the game is wrapped up. So yeah, good games. Moving on to the next match, picking up a decent lead in form of this Melmetal. If Melmetal is running Thunderbolt, it might be bad for us, but normally the Melmetal, the standard moveset is Rock Slide and Superpower. So Rock Slide, we can, I think we can tank 3 Rock Slides, not 3, but I think we can tank 2 with the Thunderbolt damage, the Thundershock damage. So we go for this Surf because there is no point in holding on to the energy. And at this stage, I'm willing to let go of Tapu Fini here. I'm expecting them to have some sort of grass type in the back, to be honest, because this thing is really weak to the ground types like Swampert. So yeah, let's see what happens. So my opponent swaps out to Talonflame, which is sort of good for me because I'll be able to reach this Surf, and then I'll be absorbing all the damage all the charge move damage onto my Galarian Stunfisk. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And by the way, my opponent is really weak to something like Swampert lead, so not really sure what they'll do if they see Swampert in the lead. Maybe sack Melmetal and then farm down with their third Pokemon. So they go for the first Flame Charge, and I am able to get to the next charge move before they are able to get to one. So they invest both the shields into their Talonflame. This makes me think that they are weak to Galarian Stunfisk. And I think we will be able to outpace them to the next charge move, yeah, which we are able to do. So the Talonflame will go down from here, and it all depends on what they have in the back. So they have a Shadow Waldron, which is good for me because now I will be able to go for this Rock Slide, and this should put this the Icicle Spear user in the Flame Charge range, but yeah, I think I can go for Brave Words if both of them charge at the same time, and my opponent realized that they cannot win and quit the game. So yeah, GG. So that's I think that's a 5-0 set for me, and yeah, we did not get a good Pokemon, just a Carablast. But yeah, this is a set wherein I went 3-2, and I also wanted to show you the losses that I had. Not just the wins, because yeah, no team is unbeatable. So I tried to catch a Seed Bomb there, but unfortunately that did not happen. But the least that we were able to do was draw out their Swampert, which is good for me because I think we will be able to at least pressure a shield here of the Swampert in the because the Earthquake will do massive amount of damage, and my opponent would want to retain this advantage, especially with all the energy lead that they have. And they shielded the first move, which is not quite good for me. And since I was sort of confident that I'll be able to get to another charge move, I shielded this, which I am, as you can see, I'm able to get to an Earthquake, and this will do massive amount of damage. But my opponent ends up double shielding the Swampert, and they will be able to farm this down as well. So not a good situation to be in, but at least we have both the shields of my opponent. So it will depend on what Pokemon they have in the back. And as you can see, we survived this Earthquake, and I really should have pushed to at least try to go for the Moonblast, but I wanted to get the Swampert as low as I can, because if they threw the Hydro Cannon before I get to the Moonblast, that would have been really bad for us. So in comes this Galarian Stunfisk, but since we have a shield advantage, I think we should be safe. But yeah, the Trevenant has banked the energy on it, so I really need to get rid of this thing and potentially hope that my opponent allows me to farm down with the Swampert. Yeah, I think that's probably the only win con that I have, and I am able to farm down almost perfect amount of energy onto the Galarian Stunfisk, and expecting the Swampert to come back in. And yeah, they come back in, so I threw this Flame Charge, and I do a complete undercharge because I want to have one Incinerate so that I am able to do a CMP die. But unfortunately, their Trevenant wins CMP, and I think that's the maximum that I could have done out of this matchup. There was probably no other win con for me, other than Trevenant losing CMP to Talonflame. Moving on to the next match, we pick up a decent lead, but here one mistake that I did was I was very late to the swap, and this allow my Tapu Fini to lose its like 30% of its energy. The thing positive is that we are able to get we are able to get a shield out of that Alolan Ninetales. So I go over 100 because I did not want to throw the Brave Bird before I take a Dragon Claw. Otherwise, I would have to shield. So yeah, I go for this Brave Bird, hoping that they will not shield since they knew that I have a Tapu Fini. So so yeah, I think I shield this one because I was confident that yeah, not confident, but I knew that I will be able to throw the charge move, and I wanted to maintain the matchup between Alola Ninetales and Galarian Stunfisk because that is a positive matchup. And the one mistake that I really do here that I go for a very aggressive farm down onto this Giratina, which will, as you can see, like put my Galarian Stunfisk to very low. I think I ended up like being in yellow against this Giratina. I really should have thrown the charge move earlier. That's probably one of the mistakes that I made. But yeah, and as you can see, I'm not able to completely farm it down as well. So yeah, terrible spot to be in, and they have a Swampert in the back. So I really need to play this down very carefully. So we go for this Earthquake, and now I'll try to catch a Hydro Cannon, but looks like my opponent was going for a farm down anyway. And the game is basically wrapped up at this stage because yeah, the Swampert has a Hydro Cannon loaded if I was calculating the energy correctly, but at this stage, like there is basically no win con for me. I was really hoping that the Surf would give, but that was really foolish of me. I do an undercharge as well so that we are able to farm down the Galarian with Galarian Stunfisk, but the Alolan Ninetales was already at a move. So I mean, you can say we sort of got RPS, but yeah, I definitely could have won that one by not, by not draining a lot of energy out of the Galarian Stunfisk. So moving on to the next match, and we are in a Galarian Stunfisk versus Galvantula matchup. So this is a good matchup for us, and we go for this Rock Slide. It's a debuffed Rock Slide, but we still would have needed to land two, so we didn't lose anything there. But as you can see, I'm always going for extra because I knew I would lose CMP there, so why not go for an extra one shot? And the opponent is staying in, and no, I think the opponent swapped into Galvantula, so they're switch locked. So we throw this Rock Slide before they could get to another lunch, and let's see what do they have in the back. So they come in with Lapras again, and now we go for this Rock Slide. And since we are able to maintain the switch advantage, I think we are in a good spot. I'm not really sure what do they have in the back, but maybe something strong against the fighting type. So maybe a Giratina or a Charmer perhaps. So let's see how it goes. And they throw the Surf, and I am really this Galarian Surface really did its job. And now it's all up to my Talonflame and Tapu Fini. So Tapu Fini, yeah, they tried to bait us, which is not good for them, but very good for me. So we straight away go for this Moonblast in hope that we knock out this Lapras, because I need this Lapras out of the way. And they have a Clefable in the back, so turns out to be a very good situation for me, and we end up taking this one. So GG's. Moving on to the next match, picking up a positive lead in the form of this Giratina, and yeah, even though the water guns are registered, they will eventually chunk away at this Giratina, and the Moonblast will do a lot of damage since Tapu Fini gets stab as well. In comparison to Cresselia's Moonblast, which does about 60%. But as you can see here, we are able to chunk like 85%, roughly 85% of Giratina's health. And I really just chickened out at this stage. As you can see, I'll be throwing the Surf. I really should be going for the farm down. I think I would have been able to make it, especially with that attack debuff that Giratina got. But I wanted to maintain the switch advantage, so they come in with Scrafty, which is sort of really good for me because we would, since we are able to maintain the switch advantage, we are able to maintain the switch, we would be able to pair this Crafty against our Talonflame, and we go for the Surf just to do some chip damage. But I think my opponent didn't really nail the counts of to the Moonblast, and then ended up shielding that. So this is really good for me because we have a shield advantage, and we have a Talonflame against us Crafty. So we correctly shield the foul play as well. So getting all the things right at this stage, and throwing this flame charge, and let's see if my opponent decides to shield. So they do not shield this one, and I think I let go of no, I shield this one. So I go to shields down, which is not really my typical playing style, but since they were staying in with this Crafty matchup, I thought that they are weak to Talonflame in the back, so I thought it would be wise to keep it. And but sadly they are able to throw this foul play, and the foul play will be able to knock us out, but we have brought this Crafty down to so low that it's not really a threat for us anymore. But they do have a Clefable in the back, so another Charmer in the back, which like Galarian Stunfisk will just eat this thing alive. And yeah, we are able to take this one as well. And before we move on to the next one, I think this is 2-all at this stage, and I needed one more win to get to 2400. So let's see if we are able to secure this one or not. So starting up with a worst possible lead in the form of the Alolan Muk, and I swap into Talonflame and they come out with Wall Range. So this is a matchup which I really cannot win, and yeah, if my opponent does a bad fast move timing, I think I might be able to win this one. But yeah, ideally I cannot. And looks like my opponent is timing their fast moves correctly. So not particularly to a good situation to be in. We try to shield, and let's see if the opponent decides to shield as well. So we go for this flame charge, and the opponent ends up shielding that. So I think they want to keep the switch advantage, which is fair, knowing that what Pokemon I had in the lead against theirs. So we go for this flame charge, hoping to get the last shield of the opponent. Yeah, at this stage I wanted the switch advantage because I knew the matchup of Muk against Galarian Stunfisk is really strong. So my opponent did not allow that, but I will be able to get some energy lead on my Tapu Fini. Even if it's an earthquake, I don't think which it is. Yeah, it's just an icicle spear. So Tapu Fini is like okayish bulky. So they come in with Gyarados, and I think it's a wrap up for my opponent, unless they are running Hydro Pump, which will just annihilate this Stunfisk. So we go for this Rock Slide, and 2 Rock Slide should be enough to knock them out, but I will farm some extra energy, but not that much, which puts me in a Dark Pulse range. So I'll farm a tiny bit of extra energy and go for this Rock Slide, which will be enough to knock out their Gyarados. And now, since we are not in the Dark Pulse range, I think we will safely be able to win this matchup, because Earthquake will just one-shot this Kanto Muk, and we will be able to take this game. So losing the lead, losing the swap, and still managed to pull this one off like courtesy Galarian Stunfisk, and we finish it off with the Tapu Fini just for a subtle flex. And yes, we take this one. GG's. Moving on to the next one, these are a couple of bonus battles which I wanted to show you. So we pick up a horrible lead and we make a swap to Talonflame. I think I was really confused to which Pokemon to go in, because the Tapu Fini and Talonflame both are really weak to something like Luxray. And yeah, I think that's the point. I realized that my team is really weak to electric types. I cannot really do much, but the least we can do is take the switch advantage. Take the shield of this the Swampert, and since we will be able to get another charge move, we will be shielding and throwing this Brave Bird. This will put down the Swampert very low, or we will be able to flip the switch. Unfortunately, we are not able to flip the switch, and Swampert is able to farm us down, but we will keep the shield advantage, and we will keep a healthy G-Fisk around. So my opponent, it's unlikely that they will swap out. If they do, it's going to be sort of bad for us. But let's see how it goes. So Swampert decides to throw the Hydro Cannon, which will not KO us, and we return the favor by throwing in the Surf. And Surf should put this down in Water Gun farm down range, and even better, they threw. So it was a CMP tie, and it's probably one of the best situations that we can get in, and we are able to farm 3 mud shots worth of energy as well. So this is turning out to be good for us, and they come in with Luxray, which indicates that they have something weak to weak to Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and I think Galarian Stunfisk really pays well against TAPU FINI because it is able to tackle both the problems of TAPU FINI in the form of the grass types and the poison types, and my opponent does end up having a wall rain in the back. So at this stage, I really need to get to 2 rock slides, and some additional mud shot damage should be able to do the damage. I think since it's a shadow one, we should be able to do it with 2 rock slides. Let's see. So even though I have an earthquake ready, I was not really sure what to do, but I think I should have gone for the earthquake. There was no point in flexing, doing an unnecessary flex. So this is the last game, and it's another loss. So, but it's a really great battle which I wanted to show, and I think this is the one wherein I really messed up. So the first mess up obviously is that I did not swap out to Galarian Stunfisk immediately. If I had done that, I think I didn't really play this well. I was so overconfident seeing this combination of Talonflame, sorry, not Talonflame. What was the lead? I completely forgot. I think it was a Talonflame lead, but I am able to catch an aerial ace. So that's good news. But I have a shield advantage. I have the right Pokemon and potentially the right alignment. But still, I managed to screw it up. I'm not really sure. I should have win this one. So we go for this power up punch. My opponent go for the power up punch, and we go for this earthquake. And it's unlikely that my opponent will shield here because they are already down a shield. Fortunately, they are able to throw. I thought they were going for a farm down, and I thought here that I would be able to get an earthquake maybe, or I bank a rock slide and go into my Talonflame, and we are able to get to this flame charge. And at this stage, I was like, I cannot really lose this one. So the Talonflame comes in, and we are able to win the CMP, and but my opponent will get an extra incinerate, and so this is not good. And they ended up shielding it as well. And now they come in with mandibles, but still, mind it, I have a rock slide stored on my G-Fist, and I have TAPU FINI with decent health. And here is the mistake that I did like a couple of seconds back, that I shielded that foul play, and I am not able to get to a charge move. So now still it's manageable, but yeah, I really fuck up this multiple times in this game. So I farm extra energy. I swap out, and I forgot at the stage that I had to surf, but I will lose CMP over the Talonflame, and the Talonflame really need to get to 1 incinerate, which they will, because when I throw surf, they will get this extra incinerate, and now they'll get to the brave bird. I really should have thrown that surf onto the mandibles, probably take a charge move onto the TAPU FINI, which would have been a brave bird ideally. And then I was in a very safe position to go for a rock slide and kill that Talonflame. But yeah, I horribly messed that up. So yeah, but it is what it is, and that's it for this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed watching this one. I particularly enjoyed using TAPU FINI, and if you are using TAPU FINI or you want to use TAPU FINI, it's a strong recommendation from my side that you should definitely use it. And that's it for this video, guys. Until next time, peace.